I am back and I have finished the quilt. I'm outside, so they're kind of hanging in the wind. Uh, that's that one. That's that one. And I know the sun is shining weirdly, so probably not the best time of day to do this. But oh well. That is what they look like now. They are obviously mended, and you can see that's the back of that one. It has a nice squirrely binding, apparently. On the front, it looks nice, kinda. And then there's this one. And that is the back of that. Oh, because of the sunlight, you can actually see where I've stitched. You can see the sunlight coming through the stitching holes. That's hilarious. Anyway, that is how the blankets look. Wow, you really can see the sunlight coming through. The blankets are really heavy now, obviously. Quilts are like the original weighted blankets, man. This one weighs, I think, like 5 pounds, 2 ounces or something. And this one is actually more weight. It weighs like 6 pounds something. So they're nice and heavy. They would be nice in winter. They're washable now because they're no longer shredding. And so you can see that I have definitely patched everywhere that had a hole. So I think it blends pretty well where the patches are. I mean, there you go. You can see those are patches. That's a patch. That blue one. I mean, you can kind of still see that I patched it. But there's other places where I just had to, like, hand sew. And so these diagonals are new. That's where I sewed in that. And then over here, I did straight ones so that the originals were going this way, and then the ones that I made are going that way. I did go through and hand sew, continue these lines. I didn't have the right color thread, and actually on video it looks very different, but in real life that blue kind of matches the tealy thread, so it's not so bad. I did sew that so that they look like they're part of the original quilt. I didn't do it everywhere, like on that binding right there. I neglected that one right there, but that's okay. And that's what it looks like. That was that really bad spot right here where it was stained and discolored, and there was like a big pokey hole here. So you can see it is no longer a big pokey hole. You can see it's got the binding. It's no longer shredded, so you can wrap it around yourself and not have shredded stuff. And there you go. I paid $2 per quilt for the vintage quilts. I spent nothing because I used fabric I already had, but if you wanted to calculate that, this was about, I think, 4 yards of flannel, and I believe that was like 5 yards of this cotton fabric, and then the binding, because I made 5-inch wide binding, ended up being like 1.5 yards, I think, or 1.25 yards of fabric. And I didn't actually use all that for the binding. I made extra because you don't want to run out. You know what I mean? And so, whatever. I have extra binding. I didn't explain before why you want to do your binding on a diagonal. I thought I should. Because otherwise it's going to be really bulky. So that's why you do it like that. So that instead of like one big bulky seam, it's split between the two. And you can kind of see that here, how it goes around, under. So, and that's another place where I hand stitched where it got messed up. There's a lot of hand stitching here. Thread. I think that was the original. It's coming undone there. Oh well. It's just gonna be how it is. Has some little threads here and there. But at least it's washable. And the next time I wash it, if it gets, you know, pulled apart anywhere or a hole or something, I can just fix that little one as opposed to a big, huge project where I'm having to, you know, change the whole back fabric and, you know, change the binding. And that was a lot of work. I fixed a lot of these holes. So now I have 2 functional quilts. Probably gonna give the square one to my son. I told him he needs a car blanket, you know, something to keep in his car for wintertime. And I figured a nice cotton blanket that's thick and heavy would be good. And he can use it as like a picnic blanket in the summer or whatever. Nice old blanket that he doesn't have to worry about getting dirty. He can throw it in the wash machine when he's done. So that's where I'm at. They're done. I still have that quilt top though. I still have to do something with that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but I'm going to do something. So we'll be back with that. And I'm very sorry about the glare. It's like a bad time of day. Okay, bye.